50% survival rate,
Okay.
losing only one family member out of 4.
So we're going to go on Facebook or YouTube and talk more about her case and situation and how she got that done. Omar, are movies a sign? They're not actually real unless they say based on a true story, but are they a sign of something that is real? For instance, the movie Outbreak, based on the Ebola virus, stuff like that. Are they sending signals for us to look at and examine going forward?
You know,
Go
a lot
ahead, Omar.
of those movies are based on scientific data. They're not just made up things. And a lot of the information is leaked out. So they can't make a movie out of it, and people look at it as if it's science. I mean, as if it's you know, just a movie.
And we better pay attention.
Yeah, you better pay attention to it. Yes.
Continue, go ahead.
You know, it was back in the 70s when Minister Farrakhan told us in the Nation of Islam, be careful what you say on a cell phone. And he said they can pick up your conversation, and there are certain trigger words that can cause them to want to pick it up, such as the word "assalamu alaikum." And so we started watching what we said on cell phone, and then it came out in a movie some years later that they can't actually do that. And now we know that from Edward Snowden, they listen to everybody's conversation, and they're recording all of them. They can play them back anytime they feel like it. So yes, those movies are a very good sign of what's to come, and that's because it's already here.
Yeah. Well, we're wondering about the brother who died. That's a serious question. Jeffrey, you say there's a strain from the Philippines in a monkey. But it has been said, and we don't know whether it's the truth or not, that this strain was not infectious. Is that right? Should we be suspect of that one as well? I would think so.
Absolutely, because we're talking about things that the general public are fairly unaware or fairly misinformed. Anytime that you're dealing with anything biological, especially a virus, we're dealing with things that can mutate. So I would definitely say yes, that there's still some level of concern there. And also just to piggyback on the movie Outbreak, and yes, I do think that they were trying to tell us something, because this was in the 1990s. The case of the monkey being sent from the Philippines to Virginia, this is actually in the movie Outbreak. If you remember the movie, a monkey flew to America on a plane and infected Americans. And so this was right around the same time that this actually happened in the United States. So I find that quite interesting. Of course, in the movie, you know, the humans died of the virus, but they're telling us that this particular strain is not infectious to humans. And I would say we would still want to pay attention to that.
Okay, here's something right here, a document. It says about 2 weeks ago, Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf wrote a letter to Barack Obama concerning the outbreak of Ebola in her tiny west country. The message was a desperate one. The tone pleaded. She says, I am being honest with you when I say that at this rate we will never break the transmission chain and the virus will overwhelm us. A former finance minister and World Bank official, Johnson Sirleaf, is not one for histrionics, being hysteria. So is this when Obama sent the troops? Does this play right in the hands of something that's destructive and detrimental to African people in Africa, like Liberia, Guinea? What's the other place? Gambia. Is that something that's dangerous when we talk about troops? We go back to the troops. Is that when he sent the troops in to? Because she says that we won't make it. Why does she say that? We're overwhelmed, desperate. And I saw on the TV screen people actually lying out on the ground in Liberia. And why does Nigeria not have the virus?
You know, those three countries, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia, that's where Tulane University was doing this experimentation.
Okay,
Those are the countries that are primarily affected.
I see.
And those three countries have mineral resources, bauxite, latex, diamonds. Those three countries have mineral wealth that America needs. And they need to depopulate it and send military in to control it so they can take the wealth of that country. Those three countries.
So this sounds like, Jeffrey, lies and deception, as far as we can tell at this point. Because I promise you, I saw on the screen, did you all see on the screen where in some of the African countries, people actually lying out on the street, dying on the spot, and the people surrounding them, looking at them, and looking helpless.
You know, if you could go to the first CNN clip about this Ebola outbreak, the first thing they said, the first day it came on the news, was that it might have gotten loose because of an experiment with Tulane University in that part of the world. And then they completely squelched it after that. It didn't come up again at all. So I don't have any doubt at all, that if you go back to the original source of the outbreak, you go back to Tulane University,
Okay.
the experiment in those countries.
Tulane University.
Yes. I have no doubt.
No doubt.
None.
It says here that at the time, this worst outbreak in Ebola, Ebola's 40-year recorded history has claimed some 2,218 lives, more than 1,000 in Liberia alone, though no one could be sure how close these numbers were to the reality in the field. As of this week, the virus has added 100 more lives to its grisly harvest. What do they mean in the field? What? Anybody, either one.
What they mean is, in the field is out in the village,
Okay.
in the town. Because
Okay.
they don't have a hospital facility other than what Tulane University set up. It's about a 5,000 square foot building that they use for a laboratory, another 5,000 square foot building they use for the hospital.
Okay, and I saw that. Could we call those makeshift hospitals?
They're very sophisticated.
Oh, they're sophisticated.
They're designed to handle the virus,
Okay,
but that's all they got.
okay.
Otherwise, they have very poor medical services.
Okay, right. So is that why people are falling out and dying on the ground?
Yes, they can't go anywhere to get treatment.
Okay. Now, Jeffrey, I'm very concerned here.
Oh yeah, we should be very concerned, especially when the military has become a part of what they're proposing as a solution. I don't know about the military being a service to a medical issue, and especially knowing the history of our military. Anytime that they report that they're trying to help another country, it seems like there may be something else that may be the result of them helping, which ultimately is not helping them. And like you pointed out earlier, Africa, West Africa is, they're very resourceful with diamonds and golds and different things that America needs. So with the military going there, they do not specialize in healing. And I heard this specifically from military. Their job is actually the direct opposite.
Okay. We've got 3 minutes left. Let's move quickly. I want to read something else if I have time. Johnson's sirleaf was tactful with Obama, as any leader of a small country colluding with a U.S. president must be. You hear that? She said nothing of the visible inadequacy of his initial offer of help. A 25-bed facility in Liberian capital of Monrovia to treat stricken healthcare workers. In any case, Obama got the message. His decision last week to commit $763 million in emergency aid funding and 3,000 military personnel to build and staff portable hospital lab and training facilities across Liberia is on a scale unprecedented in U.S. history. In his address from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, Obama cited humanitarian concerns and the threat to the epidemic posed to global security. Now he said global security. Now, is this not just a population control move? Is it also a power grab to control raw resources, riches and wealth, because it's in Africa? Because we've had some friends to visit Ghana, and they have some issues there. They really need to be educated, not trying to disparage anyone, but they need equipment. Like I said, education. Gold is still in the ground after all of these years. And we've had outside intervention involved in Africa, as we know, as far as we can go back. Something is wrong. Speak on it, Omar.
You know, I have a friend of mine who's in the Gambia, and the Gambian president is her friend. And she told me that Exxon came to the Gambia and found oil in the ground. And when the president asked, how can we mine this oil, how can we drill this oil together and make it benefit your company and the Gambian people, the offer was so paltry for the Gambians, he said, no, we let it stay in the ground, because you're not offering us anything. And oil is still in the ground in the Gambia. That's how America, and that's how corporations work. It ain't for the benefit of the people, it's for the benefit of the corporation.
It doesn't sound like it. We've seen this for years and years and years, that generally, when these kinds of things happen, the people still end up poor. What must be done? We're coming down to the end of another great show, and we may have to come back. And listen, City Council, we haven't forgotten about you.
That's right.
We haven't forgotten about you. We want to talk about Ebola a couple more times, perhaps, to see what we can find out and what we can do about it. And I want to thank, we are at 12:30.
That's right.
He said that's right.
That's right.
And thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And again, I'm your humble host and moderator on the Love Power Show. Now we shall hear our theme song.
Here it is.
Love, power, for the people.
I do apologize. When they're having heated conversations like this,
Yes.
and sometimes they accept phone calls and sometimes they don't, because 30 minutes goes by.
It does.
And it seems like y'all just talking for 15, but 30, you know how to go. You ain't no rookie no more.
Right. So this
That's the reason why we had to do Alan the way that we did. Because Alan is a regular caller. He calls every week. Sometimes he'll obey, and sometimes he'll go 5 minutes over. And if he goes, and see, that may be the caller right there.
Yes, sir. Okay.
See what it is.
Love Power Show. Hello? Okay. Okay. Who? You return the call?
Oh, what's his name?
John Crawford. Hold on.
Is that John Crawford?
Yes.
Yes. Can he speak?
Go ahead. Let's speak.
Come on, John.
Oh,
They can hear you. Go ahead, John.
okay. Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell him 2 or 3 minutes.
Go ahead. Take 2 or 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. My name is John Crawford Jr. I'm the father of John Crawford III, who was murdered August 5th at a Walmart in Beaver Creek, Ohio. And essentially, one of my messages is simply that we've received a great deal of support from Ohio Student Union, all types of local businesses and organizations, things of that nature, up north. But I'm trying to make sure that word is spread, so that we can continue this pursuit of justice for my son. He was killed by a police officer due to an erroneous 911 call made by a shopper by the name of Ronald Ritchie. He informed the police, the dispatch 911, that my son was in a Walmart waving rifle around and pointing it at women and children. Of course, actually, we know this is not true. The video has been released. For those of you who have not seen the video, you can easily Google John Crawford Bird Walmart shooting, and it's nationwide, so it's all over the internet. What we're asking people to do is simply pick up the telephone and contact the U.S. Department of Justice. U.S. Attorney there is for Southern District of Ohio, is Carter Stewart. If you would contact him or email him, I will give you both pieces of information so that you could do that. That's what we're asking everyone to do at this time, is things apply pressure, if you will, on U.S. Department of Justice. Carter Stewart's number is area code 614. Number is 469-5715. And that's 614-469-5715.
Okay.
His email address is Carter, that's capital C-A-R-T-E-R, dot Stewart, S-T-E-W-A-R-T, at USDOJ.gov. That's Carter dot Stewart at USDOJ.gov.
Okay.
We're simply asking everyone to call in to apply pressure to the Justice Department. They are investigating. They have taken over the investigation from the state. On the 22nd of September, 25th, September, we got a no indictment on the officer for murdering my son. And sadly to say, we expected an indictment, but in some aspects of the work, we did not because of the way things unfolded from the get-go. They exonerated these two officers the very next day that my son was killed.
Yes.
So without even conducting an investigation. So more or less, we knew it came stunk from the beginning, and but we've got to ride it out. And we're just asking everybody, we're going to try to be proper for what we do initially, because that's the way we're supposed to do things. So long-term wise, long-term we're looking at legislature and things of that nature to change these laws. But right now, we're just asking people to continue to apply pressure.
Okay.
So through the Department of Justice, so that we can, we're seeking justice for my son. And also, I'll leave you with, there is a campaign for him that Stacey Artist, a great friend of the family, provided, and we've not promoted, if you will. We have not promoted the campaign enough, and so in respect to her, I want to promote this campaign. If you go to www.gofundme, that's GOFUNDME, GoFundMe, /justice -for, that's FOR for, John. So that's GoFundMe, /justice for John, a hyphen between justice and for, with a hyphen between for and John. Justice -for John at GoFundMe. Picture of him will pop up. That's his campaign. So anyone who wants to contribute to the cause, we greatly appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Brother John.
All right.
All right.
All right, Brother Wallace, would you like to say anything else? You got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Well,
I would just like to thank again, God, for keeping me sane, family and friends, and all of who've been behind me, my attorneys, the Ohio Student Union, the NAACP, the Nation of Islam, all who have been manned, Bishop Bobby Hilton, Anonymous, and various pastors from around the city. I would just like to give thanks to them. The family would like to thank them. We are eternally grateful for everything you've done and continue to do.
all right. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of another great show, and we thank everyone for tuning in.
All right. We want to thank the caller for valuable information. We're going out to our 12:30 broadcast already in Buffalo. That's did that for you, Wallace.
I appreciate it.
That's what's up.
I went over.
I see. I see.